And as I said, appreciation amplifies the performance, and how the travel, how the journey of journalism and journalists has been right from that era of 1988-89 and now in 2023, when we see the emergence of another Tendulkar, and as was said by the great man himself, the first Tendulkar to pick up a wicket in the IPL. Yes. So now we go on to this game. May I request all the journalist friends to be ready. And but once they narrate anything say that you want to add करू शकता त्या किस्स्यांवर. Yes.
Sir.
Yes, and the first name lovingly called Nattu by his friends, H. Natrajan. Any anecdote that you would like to share or a match that you have covered? If you have a mic.
Hi Sachin. I had a lot of, in a long career, I can narrate several anecdotes. But one of the anecdotes I vividly remember is the Irani Trophy match. You were on the verge of getting 100, and if you remember in the press box, we were sometimes you forget you're a journalist, you're excited, and you often tend to make us forget our professionalism. So we actually wanted you to get the 100, and wickets were tumbling at one end, and Rajbhai was there in the thing. And if you remember, Gurshan Singh was injured. He had a hand in the sling. I have never seen Rajbhai so angry. He just pushed off, and he was the one who actually pushed him, and then you got that 100, and there was elation. On the same thing after that, and then you got selected after that. But what I remember most is after the match, Ajit came down. You had that Wankhede gate, and he was trying to enter, and the Gurkha there, the watchman said, "Nahi janega." And typical of Ajit and typical of you guys, humility, he just walked away. So I was coming down from the press box, and I said, "Aapko malum hai ye kaun hai?" Next time you come with a garland to take him, and then I got him inside. So these are the vivid memories, But thank you very much for all the memories.
So here I would like to again add a little bit to this. Okay, even today, my family members don't take the surname. So if Ajit has to go anywhere, he'll only say I'm Ajit. He never says Tendulkar, or even if my sister now, obviously she's married, or nothing for that instance. I mean, they would never use their surname anywhere. So not much has changed. I remember Gurshan Singh walked out to bat, and I was kind of slightly disappointed. I'm literally a few runs away from getting that 100. And later on I got to know that Rajbhai was instrumental in sending Gurshan. And then Gurshan was with me on New Zealand tour. So we got to know each other better, spend a lot of time with each other. And that was the moment I had made a promise to him कि जिस दिन तू तेरी benefit match रखेगा, अगर चांद पे भी रखेगा तो मैं आके खेलूँगा. So, and I'm extremely happy that I was able to fulfill that promise.
Thank you very much, Sachin.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, sir. Next. Oh yes, this is a very special name that I've got, and that photograph really made the entire world know when the great man was walking down to walk for the last test match. The name Atul Kamble. Atul दादा काही एखादा किस्सा किंवा काही एखादी गोष्ट सांगावीशी वाटते?
सर्वप्रथम सचिनला 50व्या वाढदिवसाच्या हार्दिक शुभेच्छा, आणि अर्जुनसाठी त्याच्या भावी स्पोर्टिंग करिअरसाठी हार्दिक शुभेच्छा. मला फक्त माझी 27 वर्षाच्या करिअरमध्ये म्हणजे नेम अँड फेम ना ते फक्त सचिनच्या त्या छायाचित्रानेच मिळाले. आणि एक की इंडियन स्पोर्ट्समध्ये सचिन तेंडुलकर आणि धनराज पिल्ले या दोन्ही लिजंडच्या घरी माझं छायाचित्र त्यांनी लावलं, त्याबद्दल मी शतशः आभारी आहे. आणि जस्ट दॅट वी आर कॅमेरा बिहाइंड मॅन, वी कांट स्पीक लाईक जर्नलिस्ट.
थँक्यू अतुल.
माझ्या हातात पण बॅट असते त्यावेळेला मच बेटर, पण तुमच्या हातात कॅमेरा असतो सर. तो ती जी एक मोमेंट तुम्ही कॅप्चर केली ती माझ्यासाठी पण एक लाईफ लॉंग मेमरी राहणार आहे. कारण इनव्हेरिएबली प्लेयर हाच विचार करतो की माझा लास्ट एक्सपिरियन्स कसा असेल, माझं लास्ट आउटिंग कसं असेल. आणि माझं लास्ट आउटिंग वॉज अ मेमोरेबल वन, आणि ते तुम्ही कॅप्चर केलं तर ते व्हेरी प्राऊडली आय डिस्प्ले इन माय हाऊस. थँक्यू सो मच.
The next name is G. Vishwanath. Let's pass on. Clayton Mazzolo. Pass. Oh, pass.
This is not allowed.
Huh?
No. Decided was no.
What do we do? Pass.
No. Pass. No.
Huh?
Next. Come on.
One short story.
Yeah, short story. I just can't forget the first time I went to Sachin's house. I had spoken to him in a tent while covering a club match. He was playing against the club which I managed. And there's one thing which I'll never forget, that he told me exactly how to come to his house. Take the 87 bus, get off at this bus stop, walk back, and that's where you get my place. And also the biscuits he served personally to me, and the tea. Thank you so much for treating me well.
Thank you. Another funny anecdote on that front at Saityasawas, people used to say 11 numberची बस घ्या आणि 11 नंबरनीच या. Meant that come walking straight from Kalanagar and you'll reach to Saityasawas. 11 numberची बस घ्या आणि 11 नंबरनी या. Okay, next I've got Subhash Harsekar.
सचिन, तुला आचरेकर सरांकडून मार्गदर्शन मिळालं, किंवा आचरेकर सरांनी तुला घडवलं. अजूनच्या बाबतीत असा खूप असा विशिष्ट प्रशिक्षक आपल्याला दिसत नाहीये, मग त्याची कारकीर्द त्यांनी स्वतःहून घडवली का?
जस्ट एखादा किस्सा किंवा एखादा सामना तुम्ही कव्हर केला असेल सर तर?
मला आणखी आठवत आहे की सचिन आणि विनोदनी जेव्हा वर्ल्ड कप पार्टनरशिप केली, आता सादर ठरवली, तेव्हा माझी मॅच क्रॉसमधून चालू होती आणि लंच टाईममध्ये गेलो तिकडे, तेव्हा मॅच संपलेली होती. वर्ल्ड सेंटवरील मॅच कन्सिडर केली होती आणि आचरेकर सर तिथे होते. तर मी म्हटलं मला असं त्यांचा इंटरव्ह्यू घ्यायचा आहे. तर ते म्हणाले ठीक आहे. त्यांनी विनोदला बोललं तुझ्याकडे फोटो आहेत का? तर म्हणाला कांजूर पाकला घरी आहे. सचिनला विचारलं तुझ्याकडे फोटो आहेत का? तर सचिन म्हणाला आत्ताच टाइम्स ऑफ इंडियाच्या फोटोग्राफरने नेले. तर म्हटलं मला फिल्डिंगला जायचं आहे, मला काही त्यांचा इंटरव्ह्यू घ्यायला आता मिळणार नाही. आचरेकर सर म्हणाले अरे त्यांना इंटरव्ह्यू घ्यायचा आहे, तुम्ही त्यांच्या टेंटवर जा. आणि मी फिल्डिंग घेऊन जेव्हा परत आलो तेव्हा ही 2 मुलं तिकडे उभी होती. आता म्हटलं इंटरव्ह्यू कोणाचा घ्यायचा? मी डोळे मिटले आणि नियतीला विचारलं की कोणाचा इंटरव्ह्यू घेऊ? नियती म्हणाली अरे तो गोऱ्यावरचा मुलगा आहे ना, त्याला मी माझ्या ॲम्बेसेडर म्हणून पाठवलं, त्याचा इंटरव्ह्यू घे. आणि माझा पहिला इंटरव्ह्यू सचिनवरती आलेला आहे.
थँक्यू. सुनंदन लेले.
मी क्रिकेटचा नाही सांगणार, मी याचा सांगेन की मोहालीला एक शहीद जवानाच्या मिसेसनी रिक्वेस्ट केली होती की मुलाला भेटता येईल का माझ्या. सचिनला म्हणलं अहो सगळ्याच आया अशी रिक्वेस्ट करतात की मुलाला भेटायचंय. तर ते म्हणले तसं नाही आहे, मुलाची अवस्था खूप खराब आहे, त्याचं स्पायनल कॉर्ड कम्प्लीट डिकम्पोज झाली आहे आणि सचिनचा फॅन आहे. तर मी रिक्वेस्ट केली सचिनला, तो म्हणला तू त्यांना आत घेऊन यायची फिल्डिंग तू लाव, बाकीचं मी करीन सगळं. तर त्याला घेऊन गेलो होतो, त्याची आई होती मोहालीच्या याला. तर थोडा उशीर झाला सचिनला काय टीम मीटिंगमध्ये, तर त्यांनी चहा वगैरे पाठवला आतनं. आणि जेव्हा त्या मुलाला भेटायला सचिन आला तेव्हा तो 4-5-6 प्लेयरना घेऊन आला टीम मधल्या, पण त्या मुलाचं लक्ष फक्त सचिनवरती होतं. त्याच्या खाली कमरेला एवढा म्हणजे 4-5 इंचचा पट्टा होता आणि त्याच्या गळ्यामध्येही पट्टा होता आणि ते 2 गोष्टींच्या मध्ये स्पायनल कॉर्डचा एक पट्टा होता की ज्याच्यामुळे तो बसू शकत होता. तर सचिन त्याला भेटला, गप्पा वगैरे मारल्या आणि तुला आठवत असेल तर तो म्हणला मला सही पाहिजे. तर सचिन म्हणला ऑफकोर्स कशावर करू. तर तो म्हणला मला पट्ट्यावरती सही पाहिजे, कारण तो पट्टा आणि तू हे माझे काय लाईफलाईन आहात असं. त्यावेळेला आय कॅन्ट फॉरगेट की नॉर्मली बॅटिंग करताना कधी हात थरथरले नाहीत, पण त्या मुलाच्या पट्ट्यावरती सही करताना थोडासा सचिनचा हात हालत होता, कारण त्या मुलाची अवस्था, फतेह नावाचा मुलगा होता. त्यामुळे मी एवढंच म्हणेन तू 100 सेंचुरीज केल्यास, तुला 50 आणि 100 हे आकडेच तुझ्या आयुष्यात लागून राहिलेले आहेत. पण मी म्हणेन की तू माणूस म्हणून तेवढाच चांगला आहेस, म्हणून तुझ्यावरती जास्त प्रेम आहे. थँक्यू.
थँक्यू. अक्षय सवाई.
Hi. First of all, happy 50th, Sachin, and you're the best at converting 50s into, you know what. Too many memories, such a great, epic career. Again, like Sunandan, I'll say, I'll narrate a story where we saw you not as a player but as a person. Your good friend Sunil Harshe was a college friend of mine. And one day it so happened that we happened to visit Sunil. No plan at all. We were just, doing time pass. And then you happened to be there. And we ended up spending the whole day together. This was 1990. You had just scored your first test century. And you were about to play. There was an exhibition tournament or called Pepsi Cup or something like that. Double wicket tournament, and we ended up playing carom, and you used to listen to a song called Mona, and the New Kids on the Block. That was the music you were listening to those days, and we were introduced to. We saw you as a human being and very chilled out and great guy, and even beyond that, so many other memories. So all the best.
Thank you. Thank you. What?
Sorry, I wasn't prepared for this, so came out okay.
Prashant Kelly.
सचिन, वाढदिवसाच्या शुभेच्छा. 50वं वर्ष. माझी पण शाळा शारदाश्रम शाळा, कॉलेज कीर्ती कॉलेज. त्यामुळे एक अटॅचमेंट तेव्हापासून होती की सचिन, विनोद कांबळी या सगळ्यांना पाहतच आमचं शालेय जीवन पण चालू होतं. त्यामुळे ते सचिन शाळेत आला की जी काही उत्सुकता असायची त्यावेळेला पण ती आजही आठवते. आणि त्यानंतर असंख्य खेळी, 98-99ची ती खेळी, जी वाळूच्या वादळानंतर सचिनचं वादळ आलं, नंतरची एक 2010चं IPL होतं आणि त्यावेळेला एक दुखापत झाली होती काही काळ अगोदर, तरी सुद्धा CSK विरुद्ध खूप छान खेळी साकारली होती, 48 धावा वगैरे केल्या होत्या, पण तरी थोडक्यात हा सामना निसटला होता मुंबई इंडियन्स कडून वगैरे. तर अशा असंख्य रूपातना सचिन आठवतो. इवन 2 वर्षापूर्वी 2021 मध्ये दळवी टीचर वारल्या. त्यावेळेला मी फोन केला होता आणि त्यावेळेला तुम्ही त्या मॅडमच्या आठवणी मला सांगितल्या होत्या की त्यांनी त्या काळात शालेय दिवसामध्ये कशा रीतीनं तुमच्या सोबत त्या अनेक मॅचेसला वगैरे होत्या. आणि आजही शाळेत गेलं की सचिनच्या शिक्षका, आजही अनेक जे शिक्षक आहेत, शेट्टी सर वगैरे, हे असंख्य आठवणी शाळेतल्या सांगत असतात बेसिकली. थँक्यू.
येस, थँक्यू. हे जे आता किस्से आपल्या सर्व जर्नलिस्ट फ्रेंड्सनी सांगितले, ऑल दीज दॅट वर नरेटेड, दॅट इज व्हॉट द मॅन इज ऑल अबाउट. क्रिकेट येस, बट बियॉन्ड क्रिकेट the contribution goes much beyond that. Thank you so much. So, 5 minutes gappa maruya about just तुमचं interaction over the years, and then we will go ahead with the afternoon. एखादी आठवण, your first interaction with a sports journalist over all these years. आठवतं पहिलं interaction when you interacted with a sports journalist?
माझी फर्स्ट इंटरॅक्शन स्पोर्ट्स जर्नलिस्ट बरोबर होती शिवाजी पार्क, ते कोपऱ्यावरती एक इराण्याचं रेस्टॉरंट होतं. सो आय वॉज देअर आणि तिकडे इफ आय एम नॉट मिस्टेकन मिड डे बरोबरच इंटरव्ह्यू होता. सुनील वॉरियर म्हणून होता, जर्नलिस्ट, राईट? सो या आय थिंक 85-86च्या आसपास होतं. आय हॅड डन वेल इन स्कूल क्रिकेट आणि की इंटरव्ह्यू करायचा होता. आय डिडंट नो की इंटरव्ह्यू काय असतं काय. So my brother was also there in that restaurant next to me. So I still remember I went there, I had tea, and then that restaurant was known for maska pav. So I had maska pav and tea with him, and I was answering questions, and my brother was also present. But I had no clue कि इंटरव्यू देने के बाद क्या होने वाला है उसका. So that was my first interaction with any journalist.
But from that journey, from your first interaction there, जी पहिली interaction तुम्ही म्हणाला तसं ते हॉटेलमध्ये होतं, how has it changed when you look at sports journalists or sports journalism, when today's cricketers interact with them? कसं बदललंय आज 2023 मध्ये?
आज कसं बदललंय हे थोडं मला डिफिकल्ट जाईल सांगणं, कारण आय डोंट नो की काय आज जर्नलिस्ट काय रिलेशन आहे प्लेयर्स बरोबर. आणि पण ॲटलिस्ट आय कॅन स्पीक फॉर माय सेल्फ आणि आय कॅन टेल यू दॅट राईट फ्रॉम माय फर्स्ट इंटरव्ह्यू टू द लास्ट वन, इट्स बीन magnificent. Over the years we also became good friends. Initially, I mean, it was just a player-journalist relationship, but then you get to know personalities, you get to know the other side of a journalist. I mean, it's not just about finding information from you, but sometimes you sit together and chat normally, which is that it's off the record, as we call it. So those kind of friendships mean a lot. You discuss on various issues, sometimes to do with Indian cricket, sometimes to do with individuals, all those kind of things. But my overall relationship with journalists, I don't have any complaints. I can only thank all of you for having covered me for so many years. And like I said, it only allows a common man to get closer to his or her favorite sports personality. It need not be just cricketers. It could be anyone. But to be able to put that on paper and make that article as interesting as if a live match is being played in front of you makes a huge difference to the readers. And for me, though I always said that I would, on very few occasions, I would kind of read and follow what's been written about me. Once the series was done, then I would look at it, but not the very next morning. Only after the game, I wanted to be in that zone. But in spite of a number of journalists knowing that I did not read the next morning, my relationship was intact.
Absolutely. आता स्पोर्ट्स जर्नलिझम म्हटलं म्हणजे आता क्रिकेटचा खेळ. क्रिकेट हॅज चेंज्ड ओव्हर द इयर्स द गेम फ्रॉम वेन यू स्टार्टेड टू वेअर इट इज नाव. क्रिकेट बदलतंय, इव्होल्युशन ऑफ द गेम. काय काय वाटतं तुम्हाला, एखादा स्पेसिफिक चेंज तुम्हाला जो जाणवतो किंवा तुम्हाला तो व्हायला आवडेल याबद्दल काही सांगावं वाटतं? इव्होल्युशन ऑफ द गेम, एनी स्पेसिफिक thing that you think has changed drastically and which you think should change in or could change in the years to come?
I think the game is becoming faster and faster because of the introduction of T20. We can get to see also T10. So you blink and the match is over. So the game is becoming faster, and in that I feel all three formats are completely different. Somewhere I do feel one day format, people need to have a look at it closely because I feel there is imbalance between bat and the ball. It is too much at this point of time, too much in the favor of batter is what I feel. With two new balls, even in the 25th over, the ball is literally 12 or 13 overs old. There is no such thing as reverse swing or the discoloration of the ball or the ball becoming soft. I find these factors really put a lot of pressure on the bowling side, and there were challenges where one did not pick the ball early enough because of the discoloration. That is an advantage for a bowler. I mean, that with field restrictions, we need to balance that out. Give some advantage to bowlers as well. I find that the element is missing in cricket right now, ODI cricket. Also, with the introduction of 5 fielders in the ring, I was speaking to a lot of spinners, and the overall opinion is हम line बदल नहीं सकते. If an off spinner is bowling, off spinner is forced to bowl middle stump line because you either have to have a deep point in the ring, a short cover point, or you need to bring a long off because on the on side you're going to have 5 fielders, 3 fielders in the team. And here you can only have 1 fielder in the team. So they cannot deceive a batter and get a batter to play a big cover drive, deceive the batter and get him out, bowl or stump, whatever. The overall opinion is, we have to kind of settle for defensive lines. So I would say that thoda adjustment needs to be made. The solution for that, I had spoken some time ago, a 25 overs match. Well, it's a 50 over match, but you bat for 25 overs, then the other team comes and bats for 25 overs, and you start again from where you stopped after first 25 overs. So you don't have 20 wickets in that game. And the only reason I'm trying to say this because that small coin decides the fate of the game. It is no more competition between two sides. It is also two sides, but one side is favored by the conditions because the captain has won a toss. So it's not a fair competition between two sides. Once the ball gets wet, you're looking at literally first 6-7 overs, and then later on, once the ball is wet, spinners don't get any purchase off the surface. Neither the seamers are able to swing the ball, if at all anything, off the seam for a while. But it doesn't allow your bowling side to come back in the game. In dewy conditions, it's really difficult. So I feel if we are able to divide these overs and get both the sides batting in dry conditions and batting in wet conditions, and so is the case with bowlers. Of course, the one who has won the toss has 10 or 15% advantage, not 90% advantage. Right now it is 90% advantage. So that needs to balance out a bit. I feel even from a marketing point of view, I'm not wanting to wear a marketing hat here, but I feel with 15 minutes, 3 breaks, they have different things to discuss. You know, the commentators will have different things to talk about, and more importantly, the support staff which doesn't get involved in the game once the game has started. You know, other than just sending those brief messages, they're not involved in the game as such. Here, you actually get the team with you for 15 minutes in the dressing room. If strategy A has not worked for you, to move to strategy B. You know, the coach and the other guys can actually get together and regroup, plan something. That is not existent right now. It just gives something new to look forward to spectators. Right now it's become too monotonous. Everyone knows from 10 to 35th or 40th over how the team is going to approach. Here, I'm going into slight details here, but here, if a side batting first in the 23rd over, if you lose a wicket, do you still send the left-hander with 2 off-spinners bowling, or you send someone who bats at number 9 or number 10 and tell him कि तेरे को वैसे भी मिला तो 5-6 बॉल ही मिलता मारने के लिए, use that now. A different strategy, a different thought process altogether. If it's rain round the corner, then you plan your first 25 overs, how you're going to play. How many wickets can you afford to lose? Maybe you can say that, okay, I'm okay to lose 7 or 8 wickets, but in the first 25 overs, I need minimum 230 runs on the board. Because why I'm saying this, we played 2 finals in Sri Lanka and there was no result. 120 overs were played. We bowled first, Sri Lanka batted, then we batted for 10 overs. The second day again Sri Lanka bats for 50 overs, we bat for 8 overs. 118, 120 overs were played. It was like थोड़ा बहुत अपने बिल्डिंग से क्रिकेट मत करते बैट माजी बॉल मारा हार की घरी जाना. So that is what we felt like, कि आके फील्डिंग करो और वापस जाओ घर. But no result. We were declared joint winners. So with this format, that wouldn't be the case anymore. It will become more engaging. So that's for me the ODI format. And lots we discuss about Test cricket as well. Test cricket should last 5 days. I feel the game is getting faster and faster, and the newer generation wants action. They want to see something. And who's that person who starts a conversation? Now I'm speaking different language. The person who always asks a question is a bowler. Bowler is every ball asking a question to a batter. And if that pitch itself is not interesting enough, bowlers will have no option but to choose a defensive line and play that patience game. And batters also know that if there is not much happening on the surface, I need not do something out of the box where if I just play within my limitation, bowler cannot get me out. He's not looking to get me out either. But in return, what happens? There are lesser eyeballs. We are also looking to revive Test cricket. We continue to say that it's our number 1 format. It's the most challenging format. But is it interesting enough for spectators? And that is why I feel it is the quality of cricket, not quantity of cricket. Yes, there need to be good surfaces, but good surfaces need not always seem around. They can still spin, they can bounce a little extra or not bounce as much. Sometimes they are fast, sometimes they are slow, and that is what Test cricket is all about. You need to travel around the world, play with different balls, Kukapura Dukes, SS, Stuart Surridge, SG in India. So, Test cricket is all about playing on different surfaces with different balls and different oppositions, and one has to be good enough to adjust to all those challenges. That's why it's called Test cricket, and that's my take on these 2 formats.
Oh yes, absolutely. Which छान वाटलं, wonderful thoughts there. आपण स्पोर्ट्स जर्नलिझम बद्दल बोललो, स्पोर्ट्स जर्नलिस्ट बद्दल बोललो, क्रिकेट बद्दल बोललो, पण आजचा हा एक खास आपण ज्या कारणासाठी भेटलो तो शेवटचा प्रश्न. on the field, 68 plus 96 half centuries, that is 164. But off the field, he एक special half century येते. So we would like to know how do you plan to celebrate the big day and celebrate a wonderful milestone?
प्लॅन थोडाफार मी म्हणेन की माझ्याकडनं पण थोडं सरप्राईज लांब ठेवलं गेलेलं आहे की मलाही काही माहिती नाही आणि आय एम ट्राईंग टू फिगर आउट फ्रॉम माय फॅमिली की काय होत आहे मला पण सांगा थोडं मलाही इन्व्हॉल्व करा पण आय डोंट हॅव एवढा क्लू आणि ॲज फार एज ए नंबर्स यू स्पोक अबाउट मला सुरुवातीला कळत नाही काय 68 आणि 96 वॉट एव्हर यू सेड हे पण माझ्यासाठी नवीन आहे मला ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग एवढं माहिती नव्हतं पण टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस 50 आय कॅन से इज द स्लोएस्ट 50 that I've scored in my life.
Oh, but we'd love to see this slowest 50. As you said, I think this is a special milestone. And on that note, thank you so much for having this get together, all of us coming here. And before we wind up, I would just request everyone to join us for a group photograph. And then we close. Yes. May I just request everyone to kindly join us on the stage for a group photograph for special archives and memories, and then we proceed.
ABP Majha, उघडा डोळे बघा नीट.